You see the smiles, the gourmet buffets, the Broadway-style shows, but behind the glitter and glamour, there's a side of cruise life no one talks about. Hidden below deck is a whole different world, one that passengers rarely see, and it's packed with secrets cruise lines would rather you never find out. From rigged casinos to crew-only warnings, even longtime cruisers are shocked when they learn what really happens behind the scenes. One of these secrets could quietly ruin your vacation, and you might not even realize it until it's too late. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on 13 real cruise ship secrets, shared by the people who lived them, former crew members. Whether you're sailing for the first time or the 15th, you're about to see cruising in a whole new light. And no, it's not all bad. Stick around for a reason many crews say they'd still do it all again, despite everything. Grab your cruise card. Let's go below deck. You'd think you're stepping into a floating Vegas, flashing lights, slot machines humming, maybe a free drink to set the mood. But what most passengers don't know, the odds aren't just stacked against you, they're adjustable. Former casino staff say that slot machines on board aren't just set to tighter odds than land casinos. They can actually be adjusted remotely, especially after someone wins big or when the ship's revenue needs a little bump. That $100 win could have been a setup, just enough to keep you spinning all night. And since cruise ships sail under international waters, there's no gaming commission watching, no rules requiring payout disclosures, no real oversight at all. One ex-dealer put it best, at least the gas station slot tells you your odds. These don't. So what's the smart move? Treat the casino like a show, not a strategy. Set a limit, enjoy the thrill, but don't chase losses. And if you're eyeing that flashy slot machine near the bar, maybe grab a cocktail instead. You'd think the buffet was run by Gordon Ramsay. In reality, it's more like a food factory with better lighting. You walk in and it looks like something out of a gourmet magazine. Towering fruit sculptures, carved roast beef, shrimp cocktails stacked like seafood dreams. But according to former cruise chefs, that buffet magic is far more industrial than you'd expect. Roughly 60% of the food served on board, especially at the buffet and through room service, is pre-cooked, vacuum-packed, or frozen well before the cruise even leaves port. That lobster tail on your plate? It may have spent more time in a freezer than you did packing for the trip. And no, it's not because the cruise line is trying to trick you, it's just logistics. Feeding thousands of people 3 to 5 times a day on a floating hotel with limited storage and an unforgiving schedule. Quantity and speed beat scratch-made quality every single time. One former chef even admitted that if a tray of lasagna sat out too long, they'd scrape off the top layer, add a fresh sprinkle of cheese, and reheat it like new. Some items that crew tend to avoid include those fluffy scrambled eggs at breakfast, often made from powdered or liquid eggs, along with delicate pastries that were baked from frozen, and 5-layer lasagna that may or may not be making a return appearance from yesterday. Want something fresh? Head to the live cooking stations, omelet bars, noodle corners, stir-fry grills, anywhere you can watch it being made to order. Or better yet, try a specialty restaurant. They usually offer the best shot at a truly fresh meal. Just remember, just because it's under a heat lamp doesn't mean it's fresh. Sometimes it's just heated. So you lost something on board. Maybe a bracelet, maybe your wallet, maybe your entire suitcase. You picture security jumping into action, pulling up camera footage, interviewing guests, shutting down decks like it's an episode of NCIS Cruise Ship Edition. Yeah, not quite. According to several former crew members, unless it's violent, high value, or backed by crystal clear evidence, many reports of missing items are handled discreetly, sometimes with no real investigation at all. Why? One word: reputation. Cruise lines work hard to keep the onboard vibe relaxed and worry-free. A publicized theft, even if it's minor, can shake guest confidence, spark drama, and tank reviews. So instead of drawing attention, many situations are de-escalated. You'll likely be told to double-check your cabin or visit guest services, and, in the absence of video evidence, the case often just disappears without much follow-up. One guest reportedly lost her engagement ring during a port day. When she asked about camera footage, She was told to try guest services twice. It was never recovered. And here's the thing, it's not just about the missing item. It's the stress, the distraction, and that sinking feeling that no one's really looking. Now, to be fair, some cruise lines do act swiftly, especially when it comes to passports, meds, or high-value electronics. But response levels vary, and if you're expecting a full-blown investigation, manage your expectations. Want to protect yourself? Use the in-room safe for anything you can't afford to lose. Keep your bags in sight, don't flash valuables, and always keep backup copies of key documents. Bonus tip, snap a photo of your packed suitcase before boarding. It can help immensely if you need to file a claim. And if something does go missing, act fast. Ask for a written report. Get a case number. Follow up like it's your job. Because to them, it's not. You signed up for jungle adventure. What you got? A rickety van with no seatbelts, no helmets, and a trail that vanished halfway up the mountain. No guide in sight, no signal, just a very long, very muddy wait. One former crew member recalled, "We once had a guest get stuck in the mud. No signal, no guide, no backup plan. It took the port agent over 2 hours to locate them." Here's the reality most brochures don't mention. Not all shore excursions are created equal, and not all of them are run by the cruise line. Many are outsourced to third-party vendors, especially in countries with looser regulations. That can mean undertrained staff, sketchy transportation, minimal insurance, and a safety briefing that lasts all of 30 seconds, if you're lucky. And if something goes wrong, if the excursion isn't operated by the cruise line, their legal liability can drop fast, and depending on your travel insurance, you might be on your own. One former assistant cruise director shared a case where a guest slipped on an unmarked jungle trail. The cruise quietly refunded the tour, but the guest had to cover their own medical bills. No headlines, no support beyond a polite, "We're sorry." Want to stay safe? Stick with cruise-sponsored excursions. They cost more, but they usually come with better oversight, and if something goes wrong, you're more likely to get help. Before booking, read reviews, ask whether the tour provider is insured, and if the whole thing feels rushed, chaotic, or unprofessional, walk away. Trust your gut. Because sometimes, the best adventure isn't the one with zip lines and jungle cliffs. It's a quiet beach 10 minutes from port, no paperwork, no liability fine print, and no helmet required. Think you're just another anonymous face in the crowd? Think again. That innocent little cruise card you wear or swipe. It's not just unlocking your door, it's unlocking your entire profile. From the moment you board, sometimes even before, the system starts tracking your drink orders, your dinner habits, which areas of the ship you linger in, how often you tip, how long you're gone on shore. All of it, logged, silently. One former bartender said he was given a list of top spending guests before the first night, with names and drink preferences memorized in advance. That's not just hospitality, that's strategy. There's even a term for it, passenger profiling. The crew is trained to spot high spenders, chronic complainers, even guests who might cause friction. And behind the scenes, that info flows smoothly between departments: casino, spa, guest services. Some staff confess to keeping personal notes on guests who were overly flirtatious, rude, or just exhausting. Not to shame them, but to pass along a subtle warning, heads up on cabin 9173. So what should you do? Use your cruise card like a digital passport with intention. Be polite, tip fairly, be someone the crew wants to see again. Because while you may not hear it, the system sees it all, and sometimes it rewards quietly. Free champagne at the art auction, complimentary spa consultations, a VIP-only cocktail tasting with zero charge. Feels like you're being treated, right? Well, kind of. But behind every freebie is a carefully crafted plan, and it's not just about hospitality, it's about psychology. Former entertainment staff say these offers are designed to do one thing: lower your guard. That bubbly at the auction? It's not there to hydrate you. It's there to loosen your wallet. One couple dropped nearly $9,000 on a painting they hadn't even planned to bid on because the vibe was festive, the crowd was clapping, and the champagne kept flowing. At the spa, that free consultation often leads straight into a soft sell, which turns into a hard upsell. Detox wraps, wrinkle serums, $300 creams you can't find on land. It all sounds tempting when you're already half in a bathrobe and half in vacation mode. And those tasting events? Fun, sure. But guess what happens at the end? A sales pitch for a liquor package that costs triple what you'd pay at your local store. So what do? Enjoy the perks. Seriously, some are genuinely fun and harmless, but go in with your eyes open. Set a mental boundary before you walk in. You're not rude for declining a purchase. You're just being smart. And remember, cruises are meant to be relaxing, not retail traps in disguise. You don't need a limited edition seaweed serum to enjoy the sunset. Unlimited drink package? Sounds like a dream. Pina coladas by the pool, frozen daiquiris at sunset, maybe a mimosa with breakfast. Because hey, it's vacation. But here's what former crew members say. Those bottomless drink deals often end up costing more than what most casual cruisers actually drink. Unless you're sipping from sunrise to midnight and ordering top-shelf cocktails while you're at it, you're probably not breaking even. One guest actually did the math. She figured she'd need 9 drinks a day to get her money's worth. She made it to lunch, took a nap, and never caught up. Even sodas and mocktails won't help unless you're drinking them like it's a competitive sport. And then there's the fine print. No sharing, daily limits, and only 1 drink at a time. Oh, and here's the kicker. On some ships, the drink package doesn't even activate until day 2. That's 1 less day to drink your money's worth, and nobody warns you about it up front. So what's the move? If your idea of wild is 2 glasses of wine at dinner, skip the full package. Pay per drink or look into a smaller bundle. You'll save money and probably avoid a mid-cruise hangover while you're at it, because unlimited sounds magical until you realize your liver didn't get the memo. While you're sipping mojitos poolside or posing for that golden hour selfie, the crew is living a very different version of cruise life, one you'll never find on the brochure. Forget cozy lounges and oceanfront cabins. Below deck, where the crew sleeps and works, is more like a maze of tight corridors, windowless rooms, and fluorescent lighting that never changes. A former staffer once described their cabin as smaller than a walk-in closet, shared with 3 other people. Beds stacked like bunkers, no sunlight, no privacy, and no such thing as a day off. Most crew members work 10 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months at a time. Some go 6, even 9 months without stepping foot on land for more than a few hours. Sure, some cruise lines try to make life a bit more livable, basic crew cafeterias, a small gym, movie nights if you're lucky. But others, not so much. We're talking cold meals after 12-hour shifts, broken AC, and laundry rooms that look like war zones. So why should you care? Because that smiling room steward, the bartender who remembers your drink, the waiter who jokes with your kids, they're doing it all. Often exhausted, far from home, and with almost no personal space, just to make your vacation magical. Want to be a cruise guest that crew actually remembers in a good way? Tip generously. Be kind. Say thank you. That one moment of patience or appreciation, it can mean more than you think. And sometimes it gets returned in unexpected ways. An upgrade, a surprise dessert, or a secret tip about the best place to watch the sunset. Which brings us to our next secret. And this one's actually sweet. Not all cruise ship secrets are shady. Some are unexpectedly wonderful. While most passengers rush from buffet to pool deck to theater, longtime crew members say the best moments often happen in places that aren't on the brochure, but are totally open to guests. A tucked-away reading lounge behind the art gallery, a nearly empty observation deck up by the spa, a quiet hallway with a view no one else seems to find. One former cruise director shared her favorite sunset spot, a public-facing corner near the front of the ship, just past the solarium. Most guests walk right by it without ever noticing. There are even rumors of secret staircases or lesser-known deck entrances, completely accessible, just rarely used. Want to find them? Be curious. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Wander a little before dinner. Ask a friendly bartender or cabin steward if they have a favorite quiet spot. If you've built rapport, they just might share it with you. Some passengers discover these gems after 5 cruises. Others, after a 5-minute chat with the right crew member. It's not about breaking rules, it's about noticing what others miss. Life below deck isn't just about long hours, it's about rules that could cost you your job. Crew members aren't allowed to date, flirt, or even be seen getting too friendly with passengers. One drink at the guest bar? That's a warning. A romantic relationship? That's a ticket home, permanently. Even among crew, social life is tightly monitored. Alcohol is limited to certain areas and only in small doses. They can't show frustration, even when dealing with rude or demanding guests, because one complaint, no matter how small, can follow them for the rest of their contract. As one former bartender said, "You smile even when you're dying inside, because one bad review can end your next contract." So next time a crew member stays calm while a guest is yelling over a missing towel, remember, they're not just being polite, they're protecting their job. If you've ever heard the PA system crackle with something like code alpha or star code, that's not random. Those are secret crew alerts, quiet signals that tell staff what's happening without alarming passengers. Code alpha usually means a medical emergency. Bravo signals a fire. Oscar, man overboard. Every crew member knows these by heart, and once a code is called, the entire ship snaps into motion in seconds. Most passengers have no idea anything's wrong, and that's the point. Cruise lines are trained to keep serious situations invisible, so guests keep dancing, drinking, and relaxing, while teams handle chaos behind the scenes. The next time you hear a calm announcement or see crew quietly moving with radios in hand, that's not random. That's the hidden choreography that keeps thousands of people safe without ever breaking the illusion of paradise. You know those post-cruise surveys? They matter more than you think. A single complaint about slow service, a missing towel, or a rude tone can affect a crew member's entire career. Former cabin stewards say they're ranked on guest satisfaction scores, and anything below perfect can mean losing bonuses or not being rehired for the next contract. That's why they're endlessly cheerful, even when dealing with guests who are less than kind. The takeaway? Be honest, but be fair. If there's a real issue, report it. But remember that one harsh comment can ripple through someone's paycheck or promotion. A kind word on that same form can do the opposite. It can literally change someone's life. When passengers go to sleep, the ship doesn't. A silent army of night shift crew members comes alive, vacuuming carpets, disinfecting handrails, restocking buffets, deep cleaning kitchens, and prepping every deck for the next morning. While the ship looks peaceful, it's actually in full swing below deck. Workers scrub, polish, and sanitize through the night, often running on caffeine and 4 hours of sleep. By sunrise, it all looks effortless, spotless, sparkling, ready for another day. So when you walk out to a fresh deck or a shining buffet at dawn, someone stayed up all night to make that magic happen. Maybe offer a quiet thank you to the invisible crew you'll never meet. They're the reason the ship feels like paradise. So there you have it. Behind the shiny cruise brochures and Instagram-worthy backdrops is a world of secrets. Some shady, some shocking, and some surprisingly sweet. But now, you're in the know. You know which perks to enjoy, which traps to dodge, and how to cruise smart without falling for the fluff. If you made it this far, drop a comment below with crew secrets so we know you're one of the savvy ones. And hey, if this video helped you see cruises in a new light, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with your cruise buddy. You'll look like the wise one before you even board. Here's to smooth sailing, smart choices, and discovering the parts of cruising most passengers never will. We'll see you on deck.